Hey everyone, and welcome to Hooked on Needles and Crafts. Today we're going to be continuing our breakfast series with our cafe crochet book that I got from Amazon. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, I'm going to be doing an egg from the cafe crochet booklet. I'm going to be leaving the link in the description box below. I highly recommend getting it. It's such a cute and cool book. So hopefully you can get it and then watch these videos as a supplement to the instructions. Again, if you want to build these, I highly recommend getting the book. So I'm making these for my goddaughter. This is just on my own thing. I have no affiliations with any of the companies that I do videos for. But I saw this book just perusing around, trying to find something cute to do. And trust me guys, the stuff in this book are just super ultra cute that I had to get it and do them. So let's do the egg today. I'm going to go straight away into the instructions. I'm going to be repeating new stitches at least 3 times, and then I'm going to be walking through step by step. Again, if you want to build this, I recommend getting the book because I'm not going to be explaining everything in the booklet. Alright, so it does say to have a 3.75 millimeter hook. For this section here, believe it or not, I don't have 3.75. I don't know why. I have so many hooks throughout the years. Maybe I can't find them all, but I'm using today a size E 4 through 3.5 millimeter size hook. Okay, so straight away we're gonna go into making the yoke. I have this really cool dandelion acrylic yarn. I do have other yellow yarns, but I've become very interested in pasture raised chickens, so that they have free roam of a large farm space, and they're fed differently, and their eggs are a lot yellow or like orangey. So I decided to pick the most yellowy orangey kind of color I have in yellow, without picking orange, but anyway. So using yellow yarn, we're going to have to make a magic ring. So a magic ring, it is magical, and it's involving a lot of steps, so hopefully you guys can be able to keep up. If not, there's a playback speed option. Click on the gear button. You can pick options to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me talking, you can lower the volume on your device and then click on the CC closed caption button. Alright, to make the magic ring, you're just gonna like hold out your hand like this, and this is for righties. If you really do need a lefty video, you just flip the hands that I'm using. But put in a request in the comment below and I'll add it to my list of videos I have to do. Mind you, I am halting my list so that I can get this gift out to my goddaughter. And I will resume all requests after that. Alright, so let us do the magic ring. So you're going to take this yarn here and we're going to wrap it around so you can get 3 strands around your index finger. And you want to be able to have a little bit of overage like this past your index, so you can take your middle and hold it down, and then you can straighten this out, tighten it up a little bit. Alright, I like to keep things a little tight but not too tight. So I'm holding this down so it doesn't like just flop in the wind there. Take your hook and you're going to slide it underneath all 3 strands like that. I'm going to pull the hook. I'm sorry, I do knitting too. I always interchange knitting with hook. I understand that this is called hook, but my mind just does not work properly, and I really apologize for that. So this is hook, 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 hook. Okay, pull this hook and you want to pull this strand underneath these 2. So hook this strand. You can turn your hook sideways so you can slip it underneath the 2 other strands just like this, And once we're here, we're going to yarn over, and yarning over means putting this feeder yarn over the hook. So just watch what I'm doing here, like that. Simple as that. All right, now we're going to pull this strand through this loop. So pull that through the loop, and now you can let go of your middle finger, remove the loops off your index finger, and we can continue on our merry way. All right, so in this magic ring we have to make single crochet stitches, and I'm going to show you how to do a single crochet stitch 3 times. Okay, so you want to stick your hook into these 2 massive loops here. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop like that. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops, and we've created our first stitch. Congrats. That single crochet stitch, when you look on the top, it looks like a nice French braid there. That's how you know you did it right. But we're going to move on to the next one. I'm going to show you this again. Stick your hook into these 2 loops. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop. So now you have 2 loops onto your hook. Then we're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches, and you have 2 pretty braids here. Let's do this one more time with you guys. So stick your hook into the 2 loops. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pull through those 2 loops. So now we have 3 single crochet stitches. You turn it on its top, and you can see the 3 individual braids. Now we just have to complete doing the rest of the single crochet stitches as stated in the booklet, and then we'll go over the next steps. Okay. Now I'm going to overhand my hook here. I'm going to remove my finger from the feeder yarn. We have to close our magic ring. So it's called a magic ring because you start with a large ring, and then magically we're going to make the hole disappear. So to do that, just gently grip the stitches down here for stability. You want to grab this excess piece here, and as we're grabbing, you're going to watch to see which one of these 2 loops goes inside the magic ring. Once you identify which loop goes in, stop pulling. So let's start pulling. All right, so right away I saw this one move. Whichever one moved for you, you want to pull out the bottom end. Don't pull out this top end, pull the bottom end that's close to your thumb here. So start pulling that, and then you're going to see the other loop disappear, and that's exactly what you want. You want to keep pulling until that other loop completely disappears into your magic ring. Okay, so once that's done, for me, I still have a little hole, but that's okay because now we're going to make this loop disappear. So take your excess piece and start pulling till that loop is fully gone into your magic ring, and then you can always squeeze just a little bit more out. So start pulling in the opposite direction and a little bit up, and you're going to feel a little tug, and you don't need to pull it too hard, but now you can see that this hole is no longer a hole. Magic ring, ta-da! Okay, so now what I like to do, and I don't know if this states it in the book, but you should definitely get yourself some of these plastic safety pins. They're called markers. You can use them in knitting, you can use them in crocheting. This is going to keep track of how many rows you do. And when you put these onto each row, you can then, or round, you can keep track of how many stitches you make. So this is definitely helpful for anyone that's doing projects and distracted all the time. I am that way. Sometimes I have to stop what I'm doing to do something else. I don't come back for days. Or sometimes I get lost in thought and I'm like, what? Yes, it happens, and it's okay. So I'm going to use the marker, and where you see the last stitch, you see those braids that I was talking about? You want to slip the marker just under those braids. There's 2 loops that makes those braids, and I'm just going to slip it underneath there, and then I'm going to close the safety pin or marker, and that's going to tell me that I'm working on round 2. And it's also going to tell me this is the last stitch that I better be using. Because if I don't, that means I must have missed a stitch somewhere or lost a stitch somewhere. So always a good thing to have. And we're going to tuck this excess piece to the side. I want to gather up some yarn now, and we're going to do round 2. So the easy thing about this round 2 is that it's 1 stitch all the way around. So what it is the increasing stitch. The increasing stitch is basically putting, in this case, 2 single crochet stitches into 1 stitch. So what you want to do is I'm going to count back the stitches to make sure I put my hook into the right stitch, because after the first round it's a little hard to see because we have this excess piece here, we have that broken up spot where we tucked in those loops. So count back the number of single crochet stitches, and then we're going to stick our hook into that stitch. All right, make sure you get everything. It's kind of tiny at first, which I don't admire so much, but you want to make sure you collect everything in that braid, that one loop and the other loop that create that pretty braid I keep talking about. All right, so we're going to put 2 single crochet stitches in this stitch. So let me show you how to do it. So yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So now we're going to do another one in the same stitch we just used. So go back into that same stitch and put in your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Now we have 2 loops on our hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So that's it. That's an increasing stitch. It's kind of like washed out here, but in this 1 stitch alone we have our 2 single crochet stitches with the pretty braids. All right, so let's do this again. Into the next stitch, put in your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Into the same stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Again, 1 stitch, 2 single crochet stitches, and you still have that nice braid on top. All right, one more time with you guys. Into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then into that same stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. All right, so now in total you should have, we've done 3 of these, you should have 6 single crochet stitches, and then we're just going to repeat this to the end of the round, and then we're going to go through the next steps. All right, let me just do the rest of this. All right, so I put my last stitch in with the marker. You can either remove the marker and do the stitch, or do the stitch and then remove the marker, which is what I'm doing now. But after I do that, I'm just going to replace it right at the top of the last stitch that we made under that braid like we did before, and then we're ready for round 3. So for round 3, we're going to alternate single crochets, a single crochet stitch and an increasing stitch all the way around. So I'll do 3 with you. Okay, so we're alternating. Let's do our single crochet stitch into the next stitch, and then into the next stitch do our increasing stitch. Okay. All right, so we have our single crochet stitch and increasing stitch. Now we just have to alternate this again. So into the next stitch, do your single crochet stitch, into the next stitch, do your increasing stitch. All right, so now we're just gonna do this one more time with you guys before I continue this. Into the next stitch, single crochet stitch, into the next stitch, increasing stitch. Okay, so now from here I'm just going to complete the rest, alternating those stitches, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, so after this is done, remove the marker. We're going to replace it at the last stitch we made, and then we're going to do the last round. So the last round is very easy. It's going to be single crochet stitches all around, and then we're going to wrap this up and move on to the next step, because this is the last round that we're doing on here. Okay, and it looks like we're only making one of these. I mean, I guess you can make like a, we're gonna be making a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. But I just like 2 pieces of egg. I mean, I guess you can make as many as you want, right? So, but I'm just gonna do obviously 1 for the video. But in the end, I'm gonna have 1 egg, 2 pieces of bacon, and it looks like 2 toast as the booklet says. So, but isn't this so cute, you guys? Like, I'm really excited. I love food, and I love crocheting, and I love cute things. So this is everything that I like all rolled into one booklet. All right, into that last marker. So now it says fasten off and leave a tail for sewing, add the safety eyes, placing them between them. Okay, so let's just fasten off first. All right, I don't know how much I'm gonna need, but my tip is to make sure that you have enough to go around the object twice. It may be a lot, but at least it'd rather be safe than sorry. So now I cut that off. To fasten off, all you do is do a yarn over, and we're going to pull that through the loop, and we're going to pull it all the way out like that. So once you're at this point, you can tighten this up, and as you see here, it's starting to look like a basket. That's all right. All we have to do is flip this inside out. You want the prettier side to show, and then you can always tuck this in or cut it off. I'm not too sure how they're gonna have us do this, but now we're gonna sew on some eyes, because I don't do the safety stuff, the safety eyes, the plastics. Hold on a sec. All right, so black would be a good color to use, but I don't have black, so I make do with what I have here. I'm going to be using my lightest shade of yellow so that there's contrast between the yoke and the face. So I just have to find the other side. The easiest thing is to just pull this off, but I try not to. Here we are. All right. So I'm just gonna get some of this So this is something that you'll have to get to along with the crochet hook. They don't provide you any materials, and that's fine, because what you pay for the booklet, I think, is a very of good value, because there's so many projects in here. You just have to go get your own yarn. You have to get your own safety eyes, or in my case, I'm doing embroidery floss. You'll definitely need embroidery floss to sew on the mouth, even if you have the safety eyes. And then the needle. Alright, so I'm going to grab my needle. Okay. Thread this up. And then I'm going to try to make some eyes on here. So it says, add the safety eyes, placing them between rounds 2 and 3, about 3 inches apart, so on the mouth. So let's do 1, 2, 3. That's really far. Okay. So I'm going to place my eye here. I'm going to leave some length to tie off later. But I'm just going to do, like we did in the bacon video. If you didn't catch that, check that out. I'm going to do several passes to make some thickness to this eye. Oh no. Okay. And I'm going to straight away try to like make it round or round-ish. So if you know how to sew and you know how to do like a French knot, you could probably do that. I've tried it before in the past and I am not good at sewing, so French knot is what I cannot do. Maybe someday I'll revisit it, but no luck in the French knot department. Okay. 1, and then 1, 2, ow. Add I just feel like 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, so I was off 1. Let me go back. I'm gonna pause this. I don't know what I was thinking. 1, 2, 3. So between 2 and 3. Son of a gun. All right. Crisis averted. So I did one eye. We're gonna go into the next eye. It says like about 3 stitches apart. So 1, 2, 3. I just think that's a weird thing to say. 1, 2, 3. Like, does it mean like that? Okay, well maybe let's do that. So 3 stitches apart would be 1, 2, and 3. So we're gonna be going through here. Ah, I did that again. If you accidentally do that, just put it back in the same hole and then just, right, 1, 2, 3. Just making sure, get the third one. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go around the stitch several passes to make some thickness. Okay, then I'm going to start trying to make a circle. Oops. Yeah, I do that a lot. I hit the camera and everything a lot. What? I don't know. I don't remember what I did on the other eye. Okay, I'm gonna go back down in here. Alright, so now we have to do the mouth. And that's gonna be across that's gonna be across the eyes. So I'm gonna come up, let's say around here. And I'm gonna come up right here in between the eyes. And I'm going to leave a little bit of length here because I'm going to come in and go in between that loop. This is going to create your little dip into your smiley face. It's a happy yoke. Happy yoke. Alright. And maybe I'll do 2 of these just because I feel like the one isn't enough. Okay, so we've got our silly smiley face. Oh my goodness. Obviously safety eyes would look better, but again, this is just what I'm going to do. I think it works either way, you know. Handmade is always best. Alright, cutting this off, and we're going to be moving on to the next parts. We're setting this little guy aside. Alright, so now we're going to do the egg white, and yes, it's actually going to have us stuff this. You need stuffing. That's another thing you're going to end up having to get. So it wants us to start with the yellow. So I got my yellow here. We're going to do the magic ring again, and so this will be the second time I'm showing you. Well, like I said, I do everything 3 times. So take your yarn, you want to wrap it around your finger to get 3 strands around it like that. You want a little bit of overage, so you can take your middle finger and clamp it down. You can take this opportunity to straighten out your strands, tighten them up a little bit. You want to grab your hook and slip it underneath the 3 strands. We're going to pull the hook back out and drag this strand underneath these 2. Okay. Then we're going to do a yarn over. So put the yarn over the hook. We're going to pull this strand through that loop. Like this. Alright, then you can let go of your middle finger. We can slip this off your index finger. And then we're going to do our single crochet stitches. So I'll do 3 for you. Put your hook into the loops. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to put our hook into the loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. One more time with you guys. Into the magic loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So from here you can finish off the rest of the single crochet stitches. Okay, and once you get to that point, we're going to overhand the hook, remove the feeder yarn off your finger. You're going to grab the lower part of the stitches here and gently hold onto that to create stability. So we're going to pull this end piece and we're going to see which loop goes in first. Once we identify which loop goes in first, we're going to stop pulling. So let's do that. Alright, so this one moved. We're going to pull the lower end out, not the top end, this lower end here that's close to your thumb. And you're going to pull that out until the other loop disappears into the ring. You're going to see it moving. Alright, and then once it's disappeared into the ring, you might still have a little hole. What we're going to do is pull this excess piece and then watch this loop disappear. So start pulling that until that's completely gone into the ring. Then, just to make sure we pull everything out, you're going to pull in the opposite direction and up. You'll feel a little tug. You don't have to go too crazy about it. And now we've closed off our ring. So I'm going to take the marker and I'm going to put that under the braid of the last stitch we've made. And then we can continue on to round 2. So for round 2, we have our increasing stitches all the way around. So again, you want to make sure, like after the first round, it gets a little muddy, so you don't really know where the stitch is. You can always count back from your marker 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put your hook in here. Into that 6th stitch, make sure you don't pierce the yarn and you have everything. Okay, and then we can do our increasing stitches all the way around. So if you can see it this way, increasing stitches is basically in a double. So you're doubling your stitches. Haven't seen it yet, but sometimes they'll tell you how many times you want to do stitches in that one stitch. But yeah, increasing is typically just doubling the stitch. Alright, so now that we have that, let me just count back to make sure that I have 12. So 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, I'm going to remove my marker. I'm going to place it under the last stitch we made. Okay, now we're going to do round 3. So, but we are going to switch to white. So before I complete the very last stitch, I'm going to show you how to start up the white. Alright, so hopefully I remember that. Okay, so for round 3, we're going to alternate a single crochet stitch and an increasing stitch 6 times. So let me show you that. So let's do a single crochet stitch and an increasing stitch. And we're going to alternate this, single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, single crochet stitch, increasing stitch. Alright, so you want to continue this all the way around. Remove the marker. Put under the last stitch we made. Oh, I forgot. Okay. I told you I'd forget. So what I'm going to do, because I forgot, I'm going to remove the last single crochet stitch. This is the increasing stitch that has 2, but I'm just going to remove the 1. So slowly pull back your yarn if you did that, till you get to that starting point of doing your last crochet stitch. You can stick your hook back in. Now from here, I'm going to pull this loop really far out, and this is going to just be a safety net so I don't lose this stitch, because we're going to set this aside. Right, then I have my white yarn. I do a lot of this white yarn, so I'm surprised I still have any left. But okay, how you start this up, we're gonna cast on with a slip knot. So what you want to do is take your ring and pinky and thumb and hold one end. Then we're going to take our index and middle finger, and we're going to hold it apart like this. So you want to take your hook and lie it perpendicular to your yarn. Then what we're going to do is go down, out, and around to create this loop around your hook, and you can slide your hook up and down, slide it down towards your thumb, take your middle finger here and just hold it where it crosses so that you can let go of your left hand. We're going to grab some feeder yarn. Okay, then you're going to repinch the end piece here, and now we're going to slide the hook further down towards your thumb, and where it crosses you just want to pinch it right here so that your hook can no longer slide up and down. From here, what we're going to do is do a yarn over like that. We're going to pull this yarn through the loop like that, and then I'm going to overhand my hook. I'm going to re-pinch this end, and I'm going to push this knot towards my left thumb. So keep pushing it down until it cannot be pushed down anymore. Once you hit a stopping point, then you can take your thumb and middle finger and just pull out a little bit more of that excess piece to tighten up that knot, not too tight. And then we're going to grab this knot here and push it up or pull it up through to get closer to the hook. And I'm going to leave a decent amount of gap to slip this off. We're going to set this aside, and then we're going to grab our project back again. Put your hook into that large loop and then tighten it back up with your feeder yarn. Alright, and now we're going to complete our last single crochet stitch. So stick your hook into that last stitch there, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now from here, instead of using this yarn, you want to set this aside. I'm going to hold it down with my ring finger, and I'm going to slip on the white. Right, I'm going to gather up some of this yarn here. We're going to pull this loop through these two. So let's do that now. And we've switched to white. And that's how easy it should be if you remember to switch it in the first place. Sorry, you guys. All right, I put my marker on there, and then we're going to move on to round 4. So for round 4, we are going to alternate our increasing stitch with our single crochet stitches 6 times. Okay. Oh, this will be the last time actually that we're going to use our yellow. So let's just get this out of the way so that it's not in your way anymore. So I would cut about 1 inch or so. And because it's close enough to that excess piece in the middle from when we did the magic ring, we're just going to tie these two together. So double knot, not too tight, but just enough to secure the yellow in place so you don't lose any stitches. All right, and then we're going to continue on to our white. Okay, so we're going to do our alternating increasing stitches and single crochet stitches. So let's do that. And now this is a different type of yarn. I don't remember what the material is. It might be polyester, it might be cotton, to be honest. I just don't remember. When you do have differences of materials, there's definitely going to be a difference in size and obviously texture. So hopefully it works out, but I don't have white and acrylic. I've done so many projects that typically use whites and blacks in both yarn and embroidery floss that I really don't have any. That's crazy. Yeah, I should probably get more, but I'm really trying to avoid getting any more yarn, you guys. This, you know, it gets expensive. So get more yarn. Alright, remove the marker, put it under the last stitch we made. Okay, so now, alright, this next round will build up the wavy part of the white egg. Alright, so for this next row, I haven't figured it out. I read this line over and over again. Please leave a comment below if you did figure it out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to group the stitches that are in before a comma, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's do 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, it says to do a single crochet stitch and a half double crochet stitch. I'm going to do that all in one stitch. So let's go into the next stitch, do your single crochet stitch. Now, what I'm going to do is a half double crochet stitch. We haven't done these yet, so let me show you how to do that. So we're going to yarn over, put in that same stitch we just used for the single crochet stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That's a half double crochet stitch. So the next part is doing a half double crochet stitch and a double crochet stitch. We're going to do this all in the next stitch. So again, for a half double crochet stitch, yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That's a half double crochet stitch. Now let me show you how to do a double crochet stitch. So yarn over, we're going to put our hook into that same stitch we just used, and we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and that's a double crochet stitch. So now for the next group, we have 2 double crochet stitches, and I'm going to use put them in one stitch. So yarn over, we're going to put our hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So I'm going to use that same stitch and do another double crochet stitch. So yarn over, put your hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and that's a double crochet stitch. So in our next bank of instructions, we have a double crochet stitch and a half double crochet stitch. So into the next stitch, do your double crochet stitch. Alright, and then we're going to show you this half double crochet stitch for the 3rd time. Yarn over, into that same stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops, and that's our half double crochet stitch. For our next bank of instructions, we have a half double crochet stitch and a single crochet stitch. So let's do that. Into the same stitch here, half and single, and then after that we have 2 single crochet stitches. Now for the single crochet stitches, I am gonna do I'm gonna use separate stitches for that. So into the next stitch, do a single crochet stitch, into the next stitch, put a single crochet stitch. All right, so now for our next stitch, we're going to put both half double crochet stitches and a double crochet stitch. So let's do our half double crochet stitch into the next stitch, and then in that same stitch we're going to do the double crochet stitch. Yeah, they made this more complicated than it needs to be, but I got so confused, and I don't even know if this is right. Alright, so for our next stitch we're going to do 2 double crochet stitches. So into the next stitch, let's put 2 double crochet stitches. Okay, then we're going to be doing a double crochet stitch and a half double crochet stitch in the next stitch. So double crochet stitch, and then a half double crochet stitch in that same stitch. Oops, I almost did a double. Okay. Alright, so now for the next one we have 3 single crochet stitches, and I'm going to use 3 separate stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So now for the next stitch, we're going to do a single crochet stitch and a half double crochet stitch. So into the next stitch, do a single crochet stitch, and then in that same stitch, do a half double crochet stitch. Alright. And then for the next stitch, we're going to do 2 half double crochet stitches. So in the next stitch, do 2 half double crochet stitches. Alright. And then into the next stitch, we're going to do a half double crochet stitch and a single crochet stitch. And let me gather up more yarn here. Comment below, let me know how it's going. Yeah, this definitely threw me off. Might have to take that comment back about loving this book. This one scared me a little bit. Alright, so we're gonna do our half double crochet stitch and single crochet stitch. So single crochet stitch. Okay, then we have to do a single crochet stitch into the next stitch. Now in the next stitch we're going to do a half double crochet stitch and a double crochet stitch. Into the next stitch, do a half double crochet stitch, and in that same stitch do a double crochet stitch. Alright, then into the next stitch we're going to do a double crochet stitch and a half double crochet stitch. So do your double crochet stitch, and then we're going to do our half double crochet stitch in that same stitch. And I don't know how this worked out, because when I was reading it before, I don't know, maybe I missed something, but the last stitch is the single crochet stitch and it worked out. This is my marker. This is where I'm supposed to end up. So I'm pretty happy about that. Comment below, let me know how it went for you. Oh wow, that's so crazy. I cut out the filming obviously, but I sat there talking and counting and trying to figure it out, and somehow it worked out. Alright, so for the last round that we're going to be doing single crochet stitches all around. So this is going to be a lot easier than what we just did. So excited about that. But that is the last round for this egg, you guys. I'm loving these projects because they're small too. I love small projects. As much as I love doing an intricate large piece, I have to get back to doing the Afghan squares. Now I know they're like broken down into squares, but even that is just such a big project for me. So really happy that this is not that big. A little disappointed with this last round. As you see, everything's kind of wanting to buckle in now, because I think that it should have been, you know, single crochet stitches mixed in with some increasing stitches so that it lies flat. So I mean, you know, eggs don't always lie flat, I understand that, but I mean, this is our opportunity to make a perfect egg, because sometimes I'll make a perfect egg, sometimes I'll burn the edges, and those do curl up, actually, so. I guess it doesn't look so bad. It gives it a unique edging look to it, so. Okay, and then last one. We're going to remove the marker and we're going to fasten off. So we fasten off and weave the ends, which means we don't need, we won't be needing some tail here. So we're going to cut this at an inch or so. And then to fasten off, you just yarn over and pull through the loop all the way out. And then we're going to pull this end to tighten up that loop. And then it says to weave the ends. So what I'm going to do is just go in and out of every stitch and pull this piece in and out to hide this excess piece. And I want to clean up the excess pieces in the back there, but before we do that, we do have to sew on the tops of the yokes. So we're going to have more excess piece to deal with. So that's why I'll do it after I've sewn everything. But yeah, that's as far as we can go here for that. Alright, to assemble the egg, we have to, with the tail, weave in and out. So I'm going to grab my needle. All right. Okay. And then I'm just gonna, you have to sew it in between the rows of the yellow and the white. I'll line this up. Okay, so let's do this. And I'm going to leave a little slot because we have to stuff it. Alright, so before I close this off even more, I'm going to grab my stuffing or fiber fill. This is what I have. I bought like 32 ounces of this in on Amazon. And I laugh every time because I didn't realize how much 32 ounces was until a huge box showed up at my door. But so we're going to use this to fill up our yoke. And this might be a little too much. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take much. Okay, and once we get all the way around, I'm gonna figure out how to tie this up. Oh wait, no, I don't have to figure it out because I have the excess pieces already. So I'm just gonna take this last bit. All right, put it here. We have these excess pieces we can easily tie to. So I'm gonna tie this around 2 times. Make sure that, in this case, you can make sure that it's tight because we are going to wrap this up here. I'm going to cut all the excess pieces off. Flip this over and we have our egg with our yolk. Alright, how cute. And we're going to join that with our bacon. I still have to make the second one, but comment below, let me know what you think. This little yolk is a little oblong. This is a healthy yolk. Usually you get the yolk and then a ton of egg white. So I mean, if you wanted to do another round, I think that would be a great idea actually. I might do it myself. You could do increasing stitches for every stitch, and if you find that a little too much, maybe do an increasing stitch every, you know, 3 stitches or 5 stitches, up to you. So, but yeah, there you go. Comment below, let me know what you think. Click on that notification bell so you do not miss a single video. We do have toast to make still, but at the end of that video I will pull out all our friends together and we will show that. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. This is Hooked on Needles and Crafts. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.